property tax. We're to vote on its acceptance tonight. The new millage rate for the year.
Mr. Mayor, point out that that millage rate is lower than
I wanted
it
to
was
discuss
last.
that, but we can't discuss it till after we vote on it, right?
No, you can make a motion and a second, then you discuss it.
That's thanks. Make a motion to accept it.
Motion to accept. For a second.
Second.
Okay, now we can go into any discussion y'all might have.
Why did it drop a tenth of a mil?
Having to do with the way the county, as I understand it, does their calculations. Ours is pretty much going to be, ours will be the same, but the way they determine their millage rate had changed.
Well, the last information we got from the county still showed 2.8 mils that I remember us talking about.
Yeah. This did come straight from the county at 2.7. That's correct.
So that's got something to do with population, I guess, and Noonan or somebody else got our tenth.
No.
It shifted somewhere.
Yeah. Same thing happened with our lost ones. Prattville, Clayton County, Coward County, Union, and Snowy, those went up, and small towns went down. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of acceptance, please signify by raised hand. Opposed, same sign. Unanimous. Speed right through this. At this point, we are already down to the public comment section of the agenda. We're starting on the back row. Got anything you'd like to
No,
talk
I have
about?
nothing to add this week.
Got 3 minutes spilled goods.
I only need a minute. I went on the website to look to see about the audit, if it had been done, so I could look at some figures, and Sharpsburg's not there for the last 2 years, and I know they don't have to do an audit return but every 2 years, but the 2011 or 12 is not showing.
It's complete and been turned in.
It has to be, so then I can get those figures that last time I requested them, you said you weren't through, so I can get them now.
Yes,
Okay, great, thank you.
yeah, 11 and 12.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, no, you didn't specify.
No, wait, 13.
No.
Okay, no, those aren't completed.
13 is still not ready.
Right, 11 and 12 you can
11 and
get.
12 is.
Okay,
They just slow getting to the site. But
Okay.
they've been turned in.
thanks.
Not all follow.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mr. Bridges?
I guess I got 3 minutes, huh? I just, I asked to be on the agenda and had, things to discuss, but apparently you guys don't want to discuss things, so. I mean, I've been emailing back and forth. I'm not sure where we did discuss things, but you mentioned that we discussed things, and we haven't. And I don't know why I would be denied. I mean, Donna, did you not receive notification in time? So why can't I be on the agenda?
Why you was denied, Mr. Bridges, is that when we asked for you to be specific, the 2 items that you mentioned, and you made the comment, and others, we wanted you to be more specific about what and others were. You did come back with that. And also the 2 items that you did mention, we talked about it both in the public hearing and at other times. Nothing has changed there. If you have something different, like I said, we'd be more than glad to go over it with you, just like my last email to you said, and the one before that.
Do you mind telling me when we went over 3101-1 of the International Building Codes? We've not gone over that.
That part was gone over back long ago in the meeting here. Now, what,
Don't believe so.
all right, what are you referring to in the 3101-1?
Well, you seem to know that we went over it, and I mean, that's what, I'm just, you know, I just copied and pasted what Donna sent me. I was just asking about different things, and this is in regards to temporary buildings.
Right.
I mean, you think, obviously, that we're talking about bathrooms. I know we can't discuss that, so we're talking about other stuff here. We're talking about temporary buildings and,
What is the wishes of council? To have an addition to the minute, to the agenda, has to be a motion, second discussion, and voted on by council to put that part on the agenda.
Make a motion.
Thank you. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? And the motion is that we listen to that part that he is referring to right there.
Correct.
And nothing else. Is that the motion? Is that the second?
To listen to whatever it is he needs addressed.
Okay. All in favor?
I mean,
signify-
when you say and nothing else, I don't know if that means that like nothing else can be brought up at all, or if there could be another amendment
No,
to.
Ms. Bridges alluded to the fact that we can't talk about certain items, and that's what I was talking about. All in favor, signify by raised hand. We have one abstention for obvious reasons. Okay, now, go ahead.
okay, certainly. You know, we were just talking about the frigid frog, you know, as far as accommodating them and helping them out and getting them up and running, and that was the last meeting. I said, you know, what about, how does that work when we're trying to, you know, get some help as well in my buildings? And you said, well, we'll have to address that later, and you guys sent, you know, I asked in an email, you know, what's the permitted use classification? You know, I can't find any kind of shaved ice shop or mobile trailer set up or anything in the different zoning and
It's not
different
going to be
things.
that specific as to a shaved ice. It's going to be a retail type establishment, and it is there as a temporary structure for less than 180 days. Therefore, it qualifies as a temporary structure.
And that's that's why I want the discussion on 3101-1, because that's exactly what it says, but it's under the guise of, these are construction sites that have temporary buildings. They don't make any reference whatsoever to a permanently temporary business, which has been going on for 3 years.
Read the first paragraph. It
Excuse
says
me.
very distinctly,
I wasn't
temporary
through, but that's.
temporary building, and it is in all respects a building. The fact that it's manufactured building has nothing on the reality. It is still a building. So it's a temporary building there for business reasons, less than 180 days. And we've gone through everything with them. They went through Safe Build, did their inspections. The county did the health inspections. Everything was inspected, everything was passed, all permits. It was done right by the book. So.
Well, I asked for the permits and I haven't seen any permits. I mean, you gave me a copy of their business license, but I asked specifically for permits as it is listed in the documents that you sent me. It says they would be permitted, and I hadn't seen that.
The
so-
business license is within
No.
itself a permit.
No, that's not what it says here.
That's what I'm saying.
Sir?
That's what I'm telling you.
I know what you're telling me, but what you're telling me and what's written is two different things. And this is scope and administration, looking under international plumbing codes as well, talking about a temporary services and different things. The utilities, give permission to temporary utilities for an installation has been fully completed. So, I mean, these are things that are talking about construction sites. With the plumbing going on, you can have a temporary building. With the building construction going on, you can have a temporary building. But it says nothing about a permanently temporary building. That doesn't reference that. I mean,
All I
that's,
can tell you is that's up for interpretation by council, and that's what we interpreted as a temporary business, less than 180 days. Everything was inspected, passed, therefore it is what it
is
is.
that we or is that you?
That's me. I did the interpretation.
You just
If
said
want-
we.
If you want to poll council, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think,
Code enforcement, that's what they say.
all right, well, I'd like to see the permits, the reports and all that.
No,
That's,
what I'm going to tell you, Ms. Bridges, is we've given you all this.
that's
If
right.
you want to question it,
That's
Don't
right.
question our interpretation. You get someone of authority to interpret it for you, not our interpretation, because apparently you're not liking ours.
But my interpretation doesn't matter.
I know.
I'm challenging
No, you go
your
to-
interpretation
You go to
because,
someone that's certified to do that interpretation of those ordinances.
what about
And
Mr.
laws.
Epstein? Where is he? He would be a good one. Seems like Mr. Muntz served his time and he's no longer, qualified. So you got another one, bring him up here and let's have discussion.
We're not gonna pay to bring them up here. If you want someone to interpret what's in the code, you get somebody and you pay them to interpret it for you. We've got our interpretation and we acted on it accordingly.
And then what do I do when I get somebody to interpret the code? What are you gonna do with it?
Bring it back in, talk to me.
Okay, well, what about Mr. Epstein? He's the one that you're gonna go with his expert opinion, correct? Well, why don't we just get him to make a final thing? Because he wasn't here when Frigid Frog went in. We've already gone through Mr. Munt, and now we're at Mr. Epstein.
No, we're fine with his interpretation of what he gave to us now. Please go to something else, because that's a settled issue. And Frigid Frog meets all requirements. I don't know what you got in your bonnet about them. They run a nice business, clean business. They've done everything right.
So everything's safe, everything's perfectly fine, legal, no potential hazards, issues, nothing. It is, in your opinion, it is a perfectly safe establishment. Is that correct? That's correct. And that's the view of the council and everybody.
Can I say something more? If you see something unsafe, report it, and we'll send code enforcement up there to check it out. That's how
Sure.
you handle that, Joe, and you know that.
No, I'm asking, you
But
guys
you
have
know-
interpreted this in a totally bogus way, in my opinion. I mean, these are construction codes. These are
So
not.
that is our interpretation. If you want to do different, I told you what to do.
Okay. Well, that sounds good because I've got a temporary service up on that lot and I think this will be good. Like I said, it's kind of a win-win. If you guys are gonna hold firm to that, then I'll be glad to, to put some temporary structures up there and we'll have, that's a great avenue for me to, recoup some of my lost revenue up there, so.
That's not a temporary structure. That's a permanent structure, been there for many years.
What are you talking
The
about?
temporary pole?
What are you talking about?
He's talking about his corner lots, the field.
Right, now, what about the temporary?
I've got an electrical service out there.
What
So,
about it?
sir?
What about it?
So I'm gonna put some temporary buildings up there and open up some shops. If that's perfectly legal within you guys' frame of mind, I'm all for it. I think it's great.
Meets all the qualifications that we've put on, and stipulations we've put on the Frigid Frog? I have no
Certainly.
problem.
Fair's fair. I don't mind. That sounds good. As far as the other ordinance in that you sent me, the environmental side, I didn't really, obviously the porta potty is part of the requirements, but that was, you say that and I just want to make sure, so if I go put a temporary structure up there, you're not going to yank it out from under me. Let's see. This section shall not apply to construction sites. So this is for the porta potty. Unless otherwise stated in the section, no portable toilet shall be placed within 100 feet of resident property line. For festivals, special events, the town may issue permit to the property owner allowing portable toilet for maximum 3-day period. All right, so I don't know,
What section is that? I'm sorry.
that's what you sent me.
I know, but what section are you
Purpose
reading?
section.
36-120 portable toilets.
Thank you.
3 days?
Go ahead.
180 days? A little bit.
Read it again, and you'll see that for a special permit, like for a festival,
Mhm.
that's pertaining to the 3 days, and you can, in essence, go within that 100 foot, within that 3 days, if, in fact, you're going reading, if they've been pumped out properly according to the ordinance and according to the code. Go ahead and read the rest of it.
Yeah, in every case, property owners shall remove the waste contained in the portable toilets by appropriate industry standards not less than once a week. Town may require a different timetable for portable toilet waste removal for health and sanitary reasons. I'm just trying to get your interpretation. So if I go spend money and I go put something up there, and I also have to have a bathroom, and I do that, then I'm following your guidelines. That's the whole problem with a lot of the he said, she said. I want to make
Well,
sure.
with all the trouble to do that, you might want to come in here and lay all the plans out for your business license for those businesses, so that we can.
I wouldn't be operating business though. I'm just going to lease them out.
I still advise you to do it in advance, to come in here and give us all the specifications prior to, just like Bridget.
It'd be just like Bridget Brawl. Yeah.
We need to know that.
Sure.
Type of business, what they're going to vend, hours of operations, we need to know all that.
Now that wouldn't be up to me.
If you're going to be getting the permits in your name, it would be.
I just told you I'm not getting a permit. I'm not going to operate a business. I'm just going to put a temporary structure up there and lease it out, and that would be up to. Are you going to restrict hours of the day and different things, or is that something that y'all do?
We'll look into it, that's all we can say. Put your plans before us, and we'll look it over and we'll advise one way or the other.
Sure. In the future, how should I go about, I mean, is it the, whose determination? I mean, there's nothing in the codes that say, if I want to be on the agenda and I want to talk about the sky, is it your, do you have the authority to say, no, we just don't want to talk about that today? Is that something, I mean, if that's in the code and I just misread it, I'd be glad to,
You might not have read from the right thing. To be on the agenda is a privilege that the council can grant. It doesn't have to be just because you want to be on the agenda. We've been very, very lenient to go over the same things many times over and over with it. And we just don't want to beat those same horses again. That's why we said that.
well, we haven't come to any resolution on anything, to be honest with you, so I mean, that would lend itself to more discussion, would it not?
What did I advise you to do, Mr. Bridges?
I'm not really sure.
I'm sure you remember that I asked you on many occasions, both in writing and here, that if you'll come in and sit down, we can work out a lot of this stuff, that it doesn't have to come before all this hullabaloo at a meeting.
But that's the whole thing, is this is a council decision, it's not your decision.
Now, a lot of things that come before the clerk and before the mayor, and we discuss it before it comes out here and goes before the general public. And I still offer that to you at any time.
Well, if you bring in Epstein and your attorney, I'll be glad, and the council, I'll be glad to come up here and we'll work, things out, however you want to do it. But I want everybody to be involved, because it's not your one vote that makes it.
It's not all involved.
Sir?
When it comes time to get them involved, we will. Council knows I don't keep anything from them, but they don't. So you bring it before me, we'll discuss it, but I'm not gonna have all these other people there now.
Why would that be? It seems like a waste of time to double up on everybody's time.
I'm just telling you what it is, so that's the end of that problem.
Yeah, I understand. All right, well, in the future, I'm gonna continue to want to be on the agenda. So wherever it is that states that I can't, be on the agenda for a topic reason, I need to know that, because I just don't think that's right. You guys are here to serve the public and the taxpayers, and we have things that come before. I mean, how many agenda items do you have every month?
The number doesn't have anything to do with it, but it's the continuous back and forth, and arguing here. We don't want to do that. That's not the way to handle a meeting. Now, to answer your question though, if you've got something that you want to bring up on the agenda, you let us know. If we say, would you be a little bit more specific, please give us that. That's all we're asking.
That's all I did.
No.
You didn't ask until today, this afternoon, for other parts. That's in your email. I can be glad to show council.
Yes, you're the one that said, and other parts.
And you didn't ask for clarification until about 3:50 today.
Okay,
So-
all right. Like I said, I've been called, we're not gonna argue about it. You come.
I just want to make sure everybody understands what goes on. That's why I don't want to be in a room just one-on-one, because I want everybody to understand what goes on and how things get twisted. And I don't appreciate that. I don't like that.
That's what I'm telling you to do. If you want to make an appeal to this council right here and now, you ask whatever kind of question you want to ask.
I've been on, you so graciously allowed me to be on the agenda, so I've said what I want to say tonight. In the future, I don't want to come up and have this whole, 5-minute debate about what's, allowable or not, or how we're going to do this. And That's the wasteful time.
Let me ask you, so you're telling me that you're not going to come discuss issues with me that is in the best benefit of you and this town?
Certainly I will do that, right here, I'm right here
No,
right now.
No, in my office, one-on-one, discuss.
Never, one-on-one, because,
Just wanted to hear it.
that's right, because you don't tell the truth.